Okay, so this movie got some pretty bad reviews, so I was a little skeptical about watching it, but being a fan of the whole Underworld series, I had to go check it out. I mean, come on. Kate Beckinsale in leather spandex, that alone is worth a look. So let's get into it. Underworld Blood Wars is basically a continuation from the last Underworld movie, and if you haven't seen the Underworld franchise, it's basically about vampires versus Lycans, and it's a war in itself. And then the main character, Kate Beckinsale, is a death dealer. She's a vampire, but then her vampire race turn on her, so she becomes an outcast, and then she gets a love interest with this guy named Michael, who's the first ever Lycan vampire hybrid, and so on and so forth. And you fast forward to this movie, now they actually have a daughter who's the first pure born hybrid, and the Lycans and the vampires are looking for her blood so they can make super soldiers. Now that we got the backstory out the way, let's talk about Kate Beckinsale for a moment. She's great in this movie like she is in all the Underworld movies. I mean, she is a beautiful woman, and like I said in the beginning, the leather spandex alone makes you want to go see the movie. So she did a great job. Everyone in this movie does okay, I guess, because if you watch the movies, you know that everyone really has like this dark, old, gothic, emotionless demeanor to them. I mean, the only thing they're really ever good at expressing is anger and killing, because that's all they really do is fight and kill each other. So, I mean, they've been around hundreds of years. Now, the action in this movie was actually pretty good. I mean, some of it you can look, if you're a diehard movie fan, you can see some of it and you're like, yeah, I don't really know about that. A little bit too much CGI, but I myself enjoyed it. Again, I'm a fan of the franchise, so I enjoyed it. Let's face it, anytime you got supernatural creatures who have supernatural abilities, there's going to be some interesting fight scenes just from that alone. And every time they fight in these movies, it's pretty good, and it continued on in this movie. If I had to complain about anything about it, it's kind of hard if you use your logic to understand these movies. 'Cause I mean, there is so much stuff going on, and you can't help but stop and think like, somebody would be investigating this, somebody would be looking into this, and it never happens. But when I go into these movies, I understand what kind of movie it is, so I kind of cut that little part of my brain off and just enjoy it for what it is, because I know what kind of movie it is. And the pacing of the movie wasn't that bad either. I mean, it wasn't jam-packed action beginning to end, but at the same time, it wasn't too much downtime with them trying to give you backstory and fillers. It was a pretty good balance, and the fighting happened frequently enough where you never caught yourself like looking at your watch or anything. Plus, the movie wasn't really long enough for you to realize, hey man, this movie's dragging out. So I was pretty pleased with the pace. Now, because this is an older movie now and it's been out for a few weeks, I'm pretty sure most of you have already seen it. So I'm going to keep it short and I'm going to wrap it up here. To summarize, I enjoy the Underworld franchise. I am a fanboy of them, I have to admit. Now, not all of them were good, but this one was better than the last one, so I was happy about that. Kate Beckinsale does an amazing job in this movie. She's a beautiful person, and when she kicks ass, she kicks ass. The pacing of the movie went pretty well, and the visuals were, some hit dead on, some missed, but in the end, it worked out for me. Now, with all that being said, I'd have to say, unless you're a fan of the franchise, this movie is probably a rainy day rental. Alright, so for today's comment combo of the day, I want to know, what's your favorite vampire movie? Are you a fan of the Underworld series? If so, are you going to go see this movie? And what did you think about it? Comment below and let me know. Now, as always, guys, if you liked this video and you thought it rocked, like, comment, and subscribe to see more from me, Mike Proc. Later.